Hello friends, my name is Maddie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be tier ranking every single one of Mariana Zapata's books. I absolutely love her books very much. They are slow burn. Most of her books are Grumpy Hero, Sunshine, Heroine. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So first up we have Colty. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in best. Colty is one of my favorite romance novels of all time. It is about Sal and her coach, Colty. He ends up being the assistant coach. She doesn't really care for him. He ended up having an incident with her soccer player of a brother. They end up becoming friends and eventually end up in a relationship. This book was a 5-star read for me. I love Colty so much. My favorite line that I always constantly think about is when he looks at her and goes, "You're my best friend." And it just makes me think of You Are in Love by Taylor Swift. I love that song so much. So when he said that to Sal, I was like, this is it. Colty is the best. Up next we have From Blue Cove with Love. From Blue Cove with Love, they are two figure skaters and they're forced to pretty much pair up with one another because they're on their last little stint that they're able to figure skate, and so they want to win, and they very begrudgingly team up with one another. It starts off as enemies to lovers. If you like figure skating, I feel like this is a good one. It takes you through their practices, their trainings, and that aspect is very interesting. I ended up giving it 4 stars, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in love. Alright, up next we have Wait For It. Wait For It is about Diana. She ends up moving next door to this guy. He's very grouchy. As I said, most of Mariana Zapata's heroes are very grouchy. She ends up raising her nephews, and so she goes on this journey about grief and loss while falling in love with her next door neighbor. The two boys have the sweetest relationship with Dallas, who is the hero, and with Diana as well. I think it's absolutely adorable. It's just very almost wholesome in a way, just the way they kind of form this little family together. It's very sweet. So I'm gonna go ahead and also put it in love. Up next we have The Best Thing. This is a slow burn second chance romance between Jonah and Lenny. Lenny and Jonah had a bit of a fling in France. Jonah ends up ghosting Lenny. She keeps trying to reach out to him. There's a reason why he doesn't reach out to her. So it's this very back and forth thing. I don't want to give too much away. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in like. I think I would reread this one. There's a few on here that I wouldn't reread, but I think I would reread The Best Thing. It is very slow burn as well, and the reason why was so sad. The best part was definitely the grandfather calling Jonah the wrong name like 95% into the. I remember the very ending of this book, like the very last chapter, being so sweet, and I'm pretty sure I cried during this one just because I thought it was very heartwarming and it was great. So next up we have Luna and the Lie. This book I had a really hard time getting into. I did give it 3 stars. This is one of my lower rated books by Mariana Zapata. This book, it's just not my favorite. I don't even really remember what it's about. I just remember there being a lot of lying and it felt very insincere, which is kind of the whole point of the book. It's called Luna and the Lie, so there's lying involved. I just wasn't a fan of it. I'm gonna give it a meh. D? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a D. That feels right. It's just not my favorite. I didn't really care for the characters. There's just a lot of it that I just didn't vibe with, which is fine. I don't have to like all of her books. She has a lot of them that I love, so I'm okay with it. Alright, up next we have All Roads Lead Here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that one in love. Oh my gosh, I love All Roads Lead Here. So All Roads Lead Here is a single dad romance, and again, very slow burn. Aurora ends up moving into the garage on Rhodes' property, and she's kind of trying to make a living for herself. I love the relationship between the son and Rhodes, and as well as Aurora. I remember this book being really, really funny. This is a book 100% I would absolutely reread. I love Rhodes so much, and I loved Aurora. I love all the characters in this book. I thought it was just very well done. Everything felt very well executed. To me, this book felt like the perfect slow burn by Mariana Zapata, so this would be a great starting point too. Alright, up next we have Dear Aaron. This is another one that I ranked kind of low. I don't know if it's because it's a military book and I kind of try to stay away from those. I'm not a huge fan of military books. My husband's in the military, so It's a little bit too close to home in my opinion. Dear Erin is about Ruby. She signs up to write letters to soldiers overseas and she gets paired up with a soldier and they write back and forth, and that's pretty much the plot of it. It's very slow burn. It takes them like forever to meet. One thing I do think that Mariana Zapata did really well was the transition from them writing letters back and forth to like communicating in person with one another. This book is very heavy on the exchange of messages and emails to one another, so I thought that was kind of a cool aspect as well. But again, I'm just not a fan of military. My husband's in the military. I will put it in like because I did enjoy it. I did have fun reading it, but I wouldn't reread it. Up next, we have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. Where do I want to put this one? I think I'm gonna put on best. That feels right. I'm gonna put Wall of Winnipeg and Me on best. So The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, I ended up giving 5 stars. This book is about Vanessa and Aiden. Aiden is a football player. He's Canadian and he is in desperate need of American citizenship so he can keep playing football. Vanessa was his assistant. She ended up quitting and he promised her a ton of money pretty much to marry him. They go from there and they fall in love. He's very grumpy and he's just very standoffish and I love that so much. This was my first Mariana Zapata book and it is one of my favorites. It's definitely like top 3 favorites between Colty and Wall of Winnipeg Me and Gracie and the Grump. Those are my faves for sure. I feel like the slow burn's well done, the dynamics are awesome. There's so much to love about this book. To me, this book just hits the mark for me. So for me, it's one of my favorite slow burns of all time. Up next, we have Rhythm Chord and Malakin. This book, it's going in D. I just don't like this book. I felt like the main character, I don't even remember their names. That's how much I don't like this book. This was my least favorite. I gave it like 2 stars. This book is about a girl, her brother's in a band. They go touring and she helps to sell merch. I just felt like the main character was so mean to the hero in this book. So I was like, no, I'm okay, I'm good. And I'm so sad because I was so excited for it because it is a rock star romance and I love rock star romances. But she was just awful. She was a horrible character. But everything else was okay, but she was just terrible. I'm just, no thank you. I'll stay away. Up next, we have Hands Down. This is about Zach. He is a character in The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in... I liked this book. I don't like it as much as The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. So, Hands Down is about Zach and Brianna. They were friends, childhood best friends, and then they ended up becoming lovers. I feel like this one was okay. I don't really remember a whole lot of it. It wasn't super impressionable to me. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars, 4 stars. I gave it 3.5 stars. So it wasn't anything spectacular to me. I feel like I've mentioned this before. Friends to Lovers is very hit or miss for me, and this one was just kind of like, it was okay. It was good. I don't think I'd reread it, but it was good. No complaints on my part. I just don't think the characters didn't hit me as hard. I had kind of high expectations with Zach because I really liked him in The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, but they just didn't. It's okay. I'm okay. Up next, we have Underlock. Underlock is going under love. So Underlock is about Dex and Iris. Dex is Iris's boss. He is her brother's best friend. He's an ex-felon. He is quite a ladies' man, if you will. He's a widow, so he's got a lot going on. Iris ends up working at Dex's tattoo shop. There's a convention that they go to. There's a single bed trope. It's just, this book was just really, really great, and I loved it so much. I need a copy of this book so bad. Dex is a huge jerk to her when she first works there. She's very sunshine and bright and just very positive, whereas Dex is not. Iris is just looking for a fresh start and she's really struggling with working under Dex. Alright, up last we have Lingus, which is, I'm gonna put that under meh. So I think this is Mariana's first book. This is about Tristan and Kat. Alright, so Tristan works in the adult entertainment industry and Kat goes to a convention and they just really hit it off when they first start working. I don't remember this one being super duper slow burn. I kind of remember her being like, why would he be attracted to me? He could have any woman. He's been with so many women. Why would he want me? And I think that was kind of like the only slow burn element to it. I thought it was okay. It wouldn't be one that I reread. But overall, I think it was fun. Like I said, I think this is like her first ever book, so I feel like it just kind of goes up from there. The book like 3.5 stars, so it wasn't the worst thing I've read, honestly. And lastly, we have Gracie and the Grump. That's not on this tier chart, and that's okay. It is very different than her other novels because it is a superhero, so it's a bit of a fantasy element to it. Gracie by far has the best inner dialogue of any of her female main characters. So this book is about Gracie and Alex. Alex is a superhero, he's famous, and one day he randomly crashes into her yard and she kind of nurses him back to health. He doesn't say anything to her for like forever, and when he kind of whisked her away back into his life because he kind of feels like he owes it to her. She is being attacked by other people because of him being there for so long. This book was just amazing. She, like I said, she has the funniest inner dialogue, because that's what a lot of Mariana Zapata books are, is the characters' inner dialogue and like their random thoughts, and by far she's so funny. So Alex's siblings are also superheroes, and she refers to his sister as like Your Majesty, Your Highness, because she freaks out and doesn't know what to say. She ends up spying on the siblings and like throws up peace signs when she gets caught, because she's like human and they have like supersonic hearing and stuff. So it was just so funny, and I absolutely love this book. This book was a 5-star. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I think this might be like my second favorite book. In order, I think it would be Colty, Gracie and the Grump, and Walla Winnipeg and Me in order of my favorite books. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to hang out with me and talk more about books, and I hope you have a great day. Goodbye!